Hi everyone, I just wanted to again reiterate how important it is that our finished mandalas feature gradients, which is from light to dark. You guys probably recognize this hairstyle, a nice ombre or balayage, but it goes from dark to light. Same thing with our colored pencils. We want to have areas that go from a darker value of one color to a lighter value of the same color, or as you can see in the center of this piece here, it goes from like a purple, like a red violet to a red to an orange. Okay, so they can also be gradients from one color to another. Okay, here is a really good example of gradients using value. So it's one color. Each section of this piece goes from one color or one value to another. If you look at the edge, where the dark blue sort of petal shapes are, we see dark blue, and then at the ends it fades to white. Okay, here's another nice example. This features gradients from one color to another. The outside border creates almost like a three-dimensional illusion because of the way that the edges of each side of that border are darker. And then we have the highlight in the middle. In the center, we have different gradients of different colors. So a violet to a magenta, a light yellow to like a bluish green. Okay, so think back again to that colored pencil project we did with the ribbons, where we created different values to create the illusion of depth and like overlapping and that sort of thing. So gradient again can just be with value from darker version of the color to a lighter version, or one color to another color, and that just creates a much more dynamic and interesting composition for your mandala. Okay, so if we look at the center of this piece, in the middle we have these little footballs, right? And the outside edge is darker and it fades to a lighter blue, and that's great. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to the area beyond the footballs in between the baseball bats. Okay, we have blue, we have yellow, and we have red. Now, they all read as the same value. They're flat. The whole thing is colored the same shade of blue, the same shade of red, the same shade of yellow. If we were to make this black and white, okay, watch what happens. Now it really reads as the same value. There is no contrast in this area at all, okay? In the footballs, we still see that contrast, which is really nice, okay? So that's why gradients are so important. It creates depth, it creates balance, it creates just a whole lot more interest in your piece, okay? And the goal is to show good shading. So here we see good shading. There's no streaks, right? And everything is blended really nice. It's just that there's not enough contrast here, okay? So this student received some feedback, then turned this in, okay? And if we zoom in, we can see now how much better this looks because of those gradients. It's quite lovely. And if we make this black and white, oh, we still see the different shades of those colors because he created such contrast in those areas. So if we look back to this, flat, meh, it's nice, but it's flat. Oh, wow, so much more dynamic, right? And this is exactly what we want, okay? So make sure your piece includes those gradients, and take your time with your colored pencil. You should not see any pencil streaks. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day today. Again, we want to create gradients. Okay, that is a blend of light to dark or from one color to another. So let's say I'm using greens. I have dark green, regular green, and I have a light green. Obviously, yours are slightly different if you're using the different set at home. But if you look at my example, it goes from blue, like a purpley blue, to a blue to a like a aqua blue. All right, same with this little heart. It goes from like a light greenish teal to a little bit darker of a blue. Inside, darker purple to lighter purple. Here, light aqua, or like aqua to lighter aqua. Here we have purple to like a pink in the center. We want to create these gradients all throughout our piece, and the way to do that is, again, by revisiting our colored pencil techniques that we practiced a long time ago. Okay, your illustration board has a nice texture to it so that you are able to layer and blend your colored pencils. So we want things like this happening. Again, you can add in analogous colors. So if you're using green, analogous that's darker would be blue, and yellow would be the lighter value to add. You can also add in black to darken your colors. You can also add in the complement, or you can keep it monochromatic and that's just one color. When you are coloring with the colored pencils, keep your colored pencil sharp. Move the colored pencil around so that you're not coloring in the same direction. And you want to layer and blend. Change your pressure to get it lighter. Okay, now go back over and blend in another layer to darken that. Okay, again, you could take a color that's slightly darker, layer that in, blend, blend, blend. Take your time. We don't want to see pencil streaks. This is not acceptable. This is second grade coloring. Okay, take your time. Let the texture of the paper help you blend your colors and create nice, smooth gradients. Again, it can go from a darker value to a lighter value, or it could go from one color to another color. Like, see, we have red, orange, yellow. It's up to you how you want to do your blends. Plan it out and make sure you take your time. Remember, up at the top of this practice, we've changed layering, we changed pressure. Those are all ways to create gradients with your colored pencils. You can also get the white colored pencil and blend in white to get a smoother blend of color if you want once you're done, okay? You also add in grays and blacks and whatever you want to do. All right, so again, take your time and gradients, gradients, gradients. We want to see a nice blend of color. It creates a nice sophisticated piece with a lot of depth and dimension. And again, we don't want to see those pencil strokes, so see how I'm layering and going in other directions so that I avoid pencil strokes. Okay, have fun. Make sure your mandalas are awesome.